Hello, and welcome back to where we delve into the most significant figures and moments in politics today. In this video, we'll be focusing on a speech from none other than Vice President Kamala Harris. Whether you admire her trailblazing journey or critique her policy stances, Harris is a political figure who continues to shape the American landscape in profound ways. Today, we'll break down one of her recent speeches, exploring the themes she emphasizes, her unique rhetorical style, and the broader impact of her words. So, let's get started. Cut to footage of Kamala Harris speaking at various events, including her inauguration, political rallies, and key addresses. Host: Kamala Harris has always been a powerful orator, using her platform to advocate for justice, equality, and the protection of democratic values. But before we dive into the details of her speech, let's take a moment to consider the journey that brought her to the vice presidency, the first woman, first black woman, and first person of South Asian descent to hold this office. Section 1. Kamala Harris's background. The screen displays a timeline starting from the 1960s, with images of Oakland, Howard University, and the U.S. Capitol. Host: Kamala Devi Harris was born on October 20, 1964, in Oakland, California, to immigrant parents. Her mother, Shyamala Gopalan, was a cancer researcher from India, and her father, Donald Harris, is an economist from Jamaica. Harris's upbringing was steeped in the civil rights movement, with her parents often bringing her to protests and discussions about social justice. This early exposure to activism had a profound influence on her, shaping her views on equality and justice. Harris attended Howard University, one of the most prestigious historically black universities in the United States, where she majored in political science and economics. Howard played a significant role in Harris's development as a leader, providing her with the foundation to pursue a career in public service. After Howard, she earned her law degree from the University of California, Hastings College of the Law. Harris's career in law began as a deputy district attorney in Alameda County, California, where she quickly earned a reputation as a tough prosecutor with a strong sense of justice. Her rise through the ranks eventually led her to become the District Attorney of San Francisco, and later, the Attorney General of California. In these roles, Harris focused on issues such as criminal justice reform, consumer protection, and the fight against predatory lending. Her tenure as Attorney General, in particular, brought her national attention and set the stage for her future in politics. Section 2. Harris's political career and rhetoric. Transition to images of Harris on the campaign trail, during Senate hearings, and at the inauguration ceremony in 2021. Host: Kamala Harris's entry into the national political scene came when she was elected to the U.S. Senate in 2016, representing California. During her time in the Senate, Harris was known for her sharp questioning during hearings, her focus on issues like healthcare, immigration, and criminal justice reform, and her ability to communicate complex ideas in a way that resonates with the public. Her rhetorical style is a blend of pragmatism, passion, and empathy. Harris often speaks about her personal experiences and the experiences of those she's met on her journey, connecting policy issues to the real lives they affect. This approach has made her a compelling speaker, particularly on issues related to justice, equality, and democracy. Now, let's turn our attention to a recent speech she delivered, where these themes were front and center. Section 3. Key themes in the speech. Cut to clips of Harris delivering the speech, interspersed with images and footage that illustrate the key points she discusses. Host: In this speech, Harris touched on several key themes that have been central to her career and her role as vice president. Let's break them down. 1. Justice and equality. Harris began her speech by addressing the ongoing struggle for justice and equality in the United States. She acknowledged the progress that has been made over the years but emphasized that there is still much work to be done. Harris often speaks about her experiences growing up as a black and South Asian woman in America, using her personal story to highlight the challenges that marginalized communities continue to face. In this speech, she reiterated her commitment to fighting for the rights of all Americans, particularly those who have been historically marginalized. Harris framed the fight for justice as a collective effort, calling on everyone to join in the pursuit of a fairer and more equitable society. Asterisk. Clip of Harris speaking about justice and equality, with passionate emphasis on the need for continued activism. Host: One of the strengths of Harris's rhetoric is her ability to inspire hope while also calling for action. She doesn't shy away from discussing the harsh realities of inequality, but she also emphasizes the power of the people to bring about change. This balance of realism and optimism is a hallmark of her speeches. 2. Protecting democracy. Another major theme in Harris's speech was the importance of protecting democracy. In recent years, American democracy has faced numerous challenges, from voter suppression to misinformation campaigns. Harris has been a vocal advocate for voting rights and has often spoken about the need to safeguard the democratic process. In this particular speech, Harris underscored the importance of participation in democracy, urging citizens to remain engaged and informed. She spoke about the significance of voting, not just as a right, but as a duty. Harris also addressed the threats to democracy posed by those who seek to undermine the electoral process, calling for stronger protections against voter suppression and efforts to erode trust in the system. Asterisk. Clip of Harris discussing the need to protect democracy, with emphasis on civic engagement and the threats posed by disinformation. Host. Harris's focus on democracy is not just about policy, it's about values. She often speaks about democracy as a living entity that requires constant nurturing and vigilance. Her speeches on this topic are designed to remind Americans of their power and responsibility in shaping the future of the nation. 3. Unity and collective action. Finally, Harris's speech emphasized the need for unity and collective action. She acknowledged the deep divisions in the country but argued that progress can only be made when people come together across those divides. Harris has long been a proponent of coalition building, whether in her work as a prosecutor, senator, or now as vice president. In her speech, she spoke about the importance of finding common ground, even with those who may not share the same views. She called for a renewed focus on what unites Americans, rather than what divides them. Harris's message was clear. The challenges the country faces are too great to be solved by any one group alone. Unity is essential. Asterisk. Clip of Harris calling for unity and collective action, with a powerful appeal to shared values and the common good. Host. Harris's appeal for unity is one of the most consistent elements of her speeches. She understands the power of collaboration and the importance of bringing people together to achieve common goals. In a time of increasing polarization, her message of unity serves as a reminder of what can be accomplished when people work together. Section 4. Impact and reception. Transition to images of media coverage, public reactions on social media, and analysis from political commentators. Host. So, what was the impact of this speech? As with most of Harris's public addresses, the speech was met with both praise and criticism. Supporters lauded her for her clarity, passion, and focus on critical issues like justice and democracy. They appreciated her call for unity and her emphasis on the power of collective action. Critics, on the other hand, argued that while her rhetoric was strong, more concrete actions are needed to address the challenges she outlined. Some also took issue with her portrayal of certain issues, feeling that she either oversimplified complex problems or didn't fully acknowledge the concerns of those who disagree with her. Despite the mixed reactions, there's no denying that Harris's speech struck a chord with many Americans. Her ability to communicate important issues in a relatable and compelling way continues to make her a significant voice in the national conversation. Section 5. Conclusion. Cut back to the host in the studio, with the screen behind displaying highlights from Harris's speech. Host. Kamala Harris's speeches are more than just words, they're a call to action. Whether she's addressing justice, democracy, or unity, her goal is to inspire and mobilize. As the first woman, first black woman, and first person of South Asian descent to serve as vice president, Harris carries with her the hopes and aspirations of many. Her speeches reflect the challenges and opportunities of our time, and her words continue to shape the national dialogue. Whether you agree with her or not, Kamala Harris remains a pivotal figure in American politics. Her speeches offer insight into her vision for the country and her approach to leadership. And as she continues to serve in the highest levels of government, her words will undoubtedly influence the direction of the nation. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.